Hi, everyone, and welcome back to another session of our office hours. And as you can see on today's agenda, we will learn how to design multi-levels on a single floor in Foyr Neo. I will take you through some inspirations first, preferably on Pinterest, and then we will go to some of the designs that I've created, and I will show you from scratch how you can achieve that multi-level look. So let's start. If you have any questions, remember that you can always drop them in a chat. The same, if you have any suggestions for our future office hours, you're welcome to drop them in the chat as well. So let's go to Pinterest first. And here we have some inspirations. The multi-level, that's a very good approach when you have like a large open space to deal with and you want to um, do like different zones. So like you don't have to have everything on one level. You can use multi-level designs. They elevate the design a bit and you can create more open spaces, but also more private, secluded ones as well. When, for example, you were deep in the living room area, or you will bring out the kitchen a bit higher up. So yeah, that's a very good idea to use the multi-level, especially in very big open spaces. So here we have few examples. So for example, this one here. So here we have sunk in living area. The same here. So presumably everything else is on the same level, or maybe there is another level for, let's say, a kitchen or another like a lounge area. But here we have sunk in living space or a lounge space, etc. And I will show you how to achieve that. And then we will also go with one floor level and then going up on one side and maybe going even more up on the other side. So it might look complicated, but it's actually very easy to achieve in Foyr. So let me now jump to some finished designs that I've done already, and we will go through them and I will show you how that can be done. So let's go with this one. I will just refresh it. I think none of them. Okay, so let me just refresh it and we'll go straight to 3D. Okay, now I will switch to 3D. We'll go with the heavy mode. So here, for example, we have a space that where we have a kitchen on one level, and then we have the lounge area on a bit of an upper level. It's all, as you can see, quite open. So we have like a large doorway here. There's only like one partition left from this side and this side. Apart from that, the space is quite open. And as you can see here, from the steps, I've also created a bit of a shelf to this site. So like you can be very creative and you don't have to only create few steps and that's all. Like, you know, you can create some storage within the steps, for example. So this one is quite easy. And I think this one will be the easiest one because here we have our floor level. So this will be our usual floor level. So when we will start designing our room, then we'll just leave the floor as it is. This part, however, it's all created with the Create New Product tool. So if I'll go here, just let me bring that a bit up, and we will go to modify so you can actually see how that looks from the side. So this is simply squared or rectangular shape, and then we create steps. We can use the push and pull to pull some parts out, and now I will show you from scratch how this particular model was done, and then we'll go to another design. So let me just quickly draw a room. It won't be the same size. It's just, I will make it quite long just to show you how that can be done. Perfect. We'll put like a small partition wall somewhere here, because I just want to show you the version with the pull out the same as we have here. So now 3D. We'll go with this one here. And of course, create new product tool. So create new product, create yourself, and rectangle. First, we'll draw a rectangle of the size here up to this wall, or we can go a bit beyond it. So that's actually up to us. Let's say that we'll do it straight with this wall here. Now we will give it a height. So with the push and pull, we will give it a height. And now you need to know how high you want to go. So how many steps you want to introduce. So let's say that here we will go around 60 centimeters, and each step we can do like a 20 centimeters. So now we will go from this side. I will just quickly resize it slightly so we actually see the wall in the bottom, and go back to modify. Now we can have the environment turn on or off, so that's totally up to you. So I will leave it on because I have this partition wall here, and I just want to stop from this side and then pull out my steps. So first thing that I will do, I will go with the offset and line offset, and I will draw my steps. Now, the depth of the steps, you can do like just usual steps as we have on the stairs, or you can make them a bit deeper. If, for example, you want to put something aside, or just make it look even more elevated. So let's go with a bit of a deeper size. But first, before we do that, I will just draw a line here. So the only things that I will be pulling out will be from this particular wall on. So like I don't need any steps on this side. So I will go with the line, and I will simply draw a line here. Now push and pull, and we'll start pulling out our steps. So let's say that this one will be 0.8, and now this one will be 0.4, and this one we will pull it out up to the end of this wall. So now again, pen tool, and we need to draw a line somewhere here. So we will only pull out like the part, this part, not a full shape. Okay, so it is something like that. You can still use the push and pull to pull it a bit out or push it in, and if you don't like it, if you think that you should give it like a different depth. So you're able to do that. I'll just cut this line here. Okay, so we have something like that. And that's actually our upper level done. So you can see how easy it is with Create New Product tool. You could also use our shapes to do that. So any like a cube or any rectangular shape that we have in our catalog, you can do that as well. But the only difference is that if you want to apply, let's say, wooden texture to your elevated flooring, then you have more options with Create New Product tool. As if we, for example, go to our floor choices in our texture catalog, and let's say that I will drop flooring, then as you can see, the flooring goes only on one surface, and then I can do another layer here, another layer here, and I can line them up, and that will look nice and very realistic. Where if you will use a shape, so let's go and we will type in floor cube. So we have this one here, and you can resize it, and you could, for example, stack them up. So you will achieve the same effect as we achieved with the Create New Product tool. But now, when you will drop your texture, then the texture will go to complete shape straight away, because that's a cube and the software reads it as a one element, where in items created with Create New Product tool, wherever you draw a line, that's a separate part, and you can apply as many textures as you want. So that's the main difference. If you would be using, for example, maybe concrete texture or a paint texture, then that wouldn't matter. So you could literally use only the shapes and build up the shapes one, stack them up and do whatever you want with them. But if you're applying any other texture, then that will not look as realistic as it will on item that we will create with the Create New Product tool. So now let's jump into another example. Do you have any questions about this one? Then drop them in the chat. Now let me open another one. Let's go with this one. We'll refresh it. And we will go through this one now. But as you can see, it is easy to do. As I always say, like, you just have to know what you're doing, excuse me, at first before you start anything. But like, sometimes it will also maybe some ideas will come during the process itself, but it's nice to know what we're doing before we start on the project. So this one is a bit different. So here we have, like, this side is identical, so that's the same as we created, but here we also have kitchen on the elevated level. As you can see, that gave a bit of a different feel to a space. Like, the space looks a bit more interesting and a bit more elevated. So I've created that exactly the same, just added 2 steps. So this one is super easy. And now with the third one, that will be the sunken in living room. So let me refresh it, and we will go through this one. So again, we have the floor level, and then I've created the sunken living room. So here, for that, we need to go a bit different way. So the thing that I've done is I've created the shape for the full size of the house. So you can, I think that that will be the easiest way. So before you start adding any furniture, just start with your floor level and the sunken level first. That will be the easiest way to go around it. So if I will click on it and go to modify, you can see that we have the shape of the house, and then we have the sunken living area over here. And now I will show you how that was done. So let me just draw. We'll go to 2D. And I will draw pretty much the same house. So we have the pretty much the same shape. Okay, so we have a house like that, quite similar. Like I won't be putting any doors and windows, just to show you how this was done. So we'll go to 3D and create new product tool. So first we will draw a rectangle of the size of the whole house. So we'll go with the rectangle tool. We'll start on the corner. Remember that when you're drawing your square, this little square that you see when you're put it in on the corners, it needs to be flat on the surface where you want to draw. So first we have something like that. We will go with the push and pull, and we will give it some depth. So the depth depends on how much lower you want to have your living area. So let's say that we'll go with like again 0.6 here. I think that should be enough. So first of all, we will get rid of this part here. And for that, we need to see all the walls. Sometimes that might be a bit tricky. So just go on the angle where you can see this part here, and we'll go with the rectangle tool, and we will simply draw a rectangle and use the push and pull to delete it. Perfect. So we have this part done. And now we will create our sunken living area. So this will be our main level. And here in this area, that will be our living room. So we can go either with line offset, rectangle tool, pen tool, whatever is easier for you. So I have it here. And now the first thing that we will do is we will create the offset. So we'll go with the offset tool and we will create the offset. So like we need some edges on the side. Now, if you would like to, let's say, create like a TV bench on this side, or maybe some extra storage or a shelf on this side or behind the sofa here, and you don't need your sides to be equal, then simply use a line offset and measure it out so to whichever depth you want. If you want them to be all equal, then you can simply use our offset tool. So let's go with, let's say something like that. And now we will go with the push and pull, and we will push it down. You can push it down all the way down, or you can leave a bit of the surface. So it's up to you, because you can apply any texture even if it will be fully gone. Now we will create the steps. So for the steps, we will only have the steps, let's say somewhere here, like we don't need them here. So we'll do them only here. And then just to have a space for our sofa. So again, we will go with, we can first actually measure out. So we can go with the line offset. Start from the edge. I don't know if that will read some of the lines here. I don't think so. So I think we will just go with the maybe pen tool. So let's say that our steps are somewhere here. And now line offset, and we can measure out the steps. How many steps you want, it's up to you. If it's 2, 3, and the same with the depth of them, that's up to you as well. And now push and pull, and the same way as we did the other one, we will just simply pull them out. And there you go. We have that done. You can remove this part here if you want to, this line. So when you will be applying texture, the same texture will go on the side of it. So there you go. That is your sunken in living room. If for any reason you need any of the parts now that you've already done it, and let's say that we want this side to be a bit deeper, to put a TV on it or some books or whatever, then you can go to modify and simply go with the push and pull and pull it out as much as you like. We can also create a storage underneath. So let's say that we will have something like this here, and then we want to create a storage underneath. Then we will just zoom in to this part here. And we can create some storage from here. Now, of course, offset. Push and pull. And we have some storage. You can also, for example, create doors like we do with like any storage units or kitchen cabinets. So like you can play around with it. And now we will only put our sofas in, anything else that you need. And that's our sunken in area ready. So for this one, the only thing that you have to know, and now of course, I will get back to it, but we can remove this line. So we can go with the trim and we can remove this line. So whatever we will, when we will apply texture, there will be no division there. So you can delete that line there. What I was going to say, yes, so with this one, remember that you have to go all the way first. So if you have an open space, you have to create a shape for your entire floor plan and then create your sunken part. Now, if you would like to create, let's say, another sunken area from this side, then you will go with the line offset or pen tool, and then you will work with that side as well. Do you have any questions, or do you want me to show you any other examples? In the meantime, we will try to apply some textures and we will put some sofas inside and maybe some books, etc. So let's go with the concrete. And we'll apply concrete. You can apply multiple textures. So again, whatever you need, you can of course use also your own textures. So we will apply textures here. And then we can try to put the sofas in. For areas like this one, so for like lower levels, if you're creating your living rooms there, I recommend to use modular, like sectional sofas. Maybe the ones that like don't have legs, just sit on the floor. That will look even more cozy and lounge-like. So yeah, so I think that would be the best choice. We can go with like a modular sofa and try to put something inside, resize it, and create like a nice lounge area here. They can be quite deep as well, so they're more comfortable to sit on. Now again, if you need a bit more storage here, you can go to modify and use the push and pull. This one, let's go from this side. So we can even create something like a U shape. And now this one, we'll just put it on this side. So there you go. We can apply any other textures, add a TV, some texture on the walls, and this area will be ready. Do you have any questions regarding these office hours? With this one, for example, we could have gone all the way down instead of pulling out just one step. But this one just looks lighter, especially for this space. But if you would have a different style of a space, then you could of course go even like a bit higher on this side or lower on this side, and again maybe do some storage inside. Also, the elevated floorings, they can be used in a bathroom. So let's say that you have like a quite good size of a bathroom and you can put a bath on elevated flooring and then create some nice storage, for example, for towels and all. And I think that I actually have, oh yeah, so this one here, I will show you another example. Renee, in order to add windows, does the depth of the outer wall always have to be a certain measurement? Well, when you're adding windows, they usually snap within the depth of the wall. So you don't have to change the depth. You only have to resize them to the size that you want, but they usually just snap within the depth of your wall. So like you don't have to change anything there. Julie, how about a LED light on the steps? What would you choose, Magda? Yes, so I would either go um with the strip lights, or let me just refresh it, and or we can modify it and we can do like little gaps and then apply a light material, or like put the LED strip lights in these little gaps. So for example, let me go, maybe not to this one, maybe to this one better. This will be a better example with the elevated one, not the sunken in one. I think for one of the projects I've used the LED lights, but I've used them on the ceiling. Yeah, so I've just created like a rectangle and then added the LED lights. But of course you can do that on the steps. So for example, here, yeah, so I think I have actually LED lights here on these steps. Yes, so I have LED lights here. And what I did is, if I'll go to modify, you will see it a bit clearer. So I draw a line with the line offset and then pushed it in slightly and then just applied a light material. Here I applied a white light just to add a bit more modern feel and like a colder feel to this space. But you can choose any other color. But you could, for example, put the LED stripe strip light inside of the gap as well. But I think it's better just to create like a tiny gap. Or if you would like to put it from the top, then what we can do, we can, for example, on this one, I'll show you. So a modify. And go with the line offset. So we'll go from the up. And now we can actually pull it out. So this little part, we can pull it out. And now underneath, so as you can see, it's pulled out. And now underneath, we can apply either light material on this here. And I think that would be the best idea because it will illuminate a bit differently and that might look maybe even more realistic. But if you want to use a normal light, then we can, for example, put this one on there, resize it nicely so it's not as visible, and do it like that. So you can either apply a light material or we can use the LED strip lights and either put them on the bottom of the step where we push it in, or the top of the step, and then we have to pull it out a bit. So I think well, that's the way I would have done it. So again, like it depends on where do you want to place the light, what kind of illumination you want to have. And now with the bathroom, I think that's the last example, and that's the elevated flooring for under the bath. Like this bathroom is big, and I think for elevated flooring, we need a bigger size bathroom just to make sure that no one will trip over, like any steps. So like that wouldn't work in a smaller bathroom. And here again, I have LED lights here under the steps, and the bath sits on top. And here we have like a small storage for towels, for example. So yeah, so that's another one. And if I'll go to modify, then again, you can see it was just the first we've created one shape, and then measure out the steps, create the opening for the storage, and that's all. So yeah, use your imagination, and also the inspirations are nice as well. So you can come up with something different, and or that might even like lead you in some direction that you wouldn't think of before. So yeah, you can like use inspirations as well. Any questions or Um, any suggestions for another office hours, maybe? I think we have some subjects lined up, but it's always nice to hear from you what would you like us to cover, for example. This one, like in this bathroom, there's loads created with the create new product tool. So yeah, create new product tool, it's a very useful tool. So yeah, you can use it in many, many different places. Alba, I need to design a bespoke staircase. Yes, so for that, I think I would use the create new product tool. It all depends what kind of staircase it is. If there is any chance that you can use any items from the catalog and modify them a bit, so resize them, maybe cover some elements with invisible material, or change the textures, then try to do that because it will save you some time. But if you really need like a certain kind of stairs, then you can try to create them yourself. Remember that with the create new product tool, we also have an option to get it created by us. So we have interior designers that can create, like if it's very difficult thing to create, then you can get it created as well. Also, if these are the stairs that you can find, let's say somewhere on the internet, you can try to upload them as a 3D model. So upload an image, go to AI Hub, upload image, and the image will be generated into a 3D model. So you can try to do that as well. Um, Oh, you couldn't. Yeah. So try to use the create new product tool. If it's too difficult, then get in touch, and I'm sure that someone from our team will be able to help you out. Shante, maybe some landscaping exterior work. Yes, yeah, we can definitely do that. Yeah, with like some garden, or like even maybe some like environments that you can add to elevate the look of your renders, and things like that. Yeah, we can definitely take that into consideration. Yeah, you're very welcome. Any other questions? Remember that if you're struggling with something, and like you're trying to do something, and it feels like it's not going the way you want it to, or it seems like overly complicated. And there's a chat box, there's a chat here that you can reach out, and also you can go to foyr.com and there is a contact form there that you can contact us, or send an email to Foyr, and yeah, and someone will be get back to you and try to help you out. So like remember that when you're struggling, you can reach out, because I know that how frustrating it can be, that when sometimes you want to do something that is like, in your mind, and like, and you can just put it in the project. So yes, reach out, and we'll try to help you out as much as we can. Thanks so much for being here. Yeah, any questions, you can drop them here, and we'll of course see you next week. Um, I think it's next week. I think it's next week as far as I remember. Just let me check the email, but I'm sure it's yes, the February 26th. So we'll see you in a week time. And then March 5th. And then on the March 12th, for me, it will be a bit earlier, because I think the hour changing is different for you and it's different for me. So yeah, I just have to remember about that, 'cause sometimes I get confused. But yeah, I just have to put it in my calendar. So thanks so much, guys, and we'll see you next week. Have a lovely rest of the day, and a nice weekend.